Hi, this is BRR. In this video, we'll discuss about state management in ASP.NET. So what is state management? So if you look at every application which is being developed using ASP.NET, so everyone is using this state management to maintain the information or the data for the further actions and future actions in the application or across applications. If they wanted to use, they will use the state management technology in ASP.NET web applications. So, but what is this management, state management? So, managing a state on behalf of each client is often necessary in web applications. So, whether it is used to keep track of the information or items in like if you're doing a shopping and online website like if in Flipkart or Amazon, like if you want to keep track of items in a shopping cart or to note viewing preferences for a particular user. So this ASP.NET provides three ways of maintaining a client-specific states, like session state, cookie state, and view state. These are the states they will maintain the track the items which you are doing in the shopping cart website. That way they will maintain the information in ASP.NET. But this each technique has its own advantages and disadvantages, but session state is the most flexible and powerful state management in ASP.NET. In generally, it is the most efficient in ASP.NET enhanced session state. So this ASP.NET has enhanced session state to address some of the problems associated with the previous versions of ASP, like classic ASP, and including the abilities to host session state, out prog, in prog, and state server kind of thing. So let's look at this session state and maintain on behalf of client, how it is going to work when a new client begins to interact with an application. A new session ID is generating generally. So that session ID associated with all subsequent requests from the same request coming from the client. By default, either using a cookie or either using a URL based on the cookieless attribute setting in the web.config. So let's see, like within some example, like how it is going to work in ASP.NET. If you look at this ASP.NET session state, like as I told you, like this session state have below properties, primary methods and properties in HTTP session state class, along with property accessors in both the page and HTTP context classes, so that you will use the session object in the application very easily if you know the properties and methods existing in the HTTP context class. If you look at here, these are the properties like code page, count is cookieless, in is new session, is read only, keys, LCID, and mode session ID. These are the properties, and these are the indexes. These are the methods: abandon, add, clear, remove, remove all, remove it. These are the methods available in the HTTP session state class. That means if you use session object, you can use all these things in your application based on the need. If you are come up with session state line of code in the ASP.NET web applications. Now, so how we are going to use this particular session state management across all pages? If you look at any web application, like we'll show you an example on doing online shopping, like purchasing of some items in the shopping mall or somewhere in the online website, how they are tracking the things using an session object in ASP.NET. Before I get into this particular example demo, I will show you. I just wanted to show you what are the inbuilt-in methods available in the HTTP session state class. So how they are inbuilt in session object, and each and every method or property have its own advantage and purpose. So based on the need, like let us say, like I want to abandon my session, or if I want to remove a variable in session, or I want to clear a session, how you are going to use it. This kind of things you can know using this, by knowing this existing built-in methods in the HTTP context, HTTP session state class or context classes. So if you look at one example, like I'm going to show you like how there is a website, like let's call it a website where it has some two pages. Purchase website where it has some items to purchase and to check the count of things, like once you purchase the things from the website. So if you look at this website, like initially, I wanted to keep this particular session object in the global.asx file where it is the starting point to start my application. So here in this session.state, session.start method, generally when you make a request to the web server of a particular website, the website or web page, a web page initiates a request starts from the session start where it creates a session here. And once this is done, then other operations is being subsequently processed. So that's why I'm keeping this line of code, like putting this creating a session of cart object, like this is the key value I'm giving here, session of cart equal to new array list. I'm just defining the object of session, like kind of the type of values which are being storing in this array list, because array list having the automatic resizing and can be stored different type of values. There is no need of declaring for adding of dynamic items. It will automatically resize the size of array. Also, it will stores different data type of values, but not specific to a generic data type, like how the array is working. So I'm just declared session object like session of cart of type new array list. This is the line of code I'm putting into global.asx. I'm just going to my purchase website. I'm just putting two buttons like pencil and pen, where it has a count of values. It will be showing here pencil of some $1. It means it will show you the quantity of the pencils, and pen of $2, it shows you the quantity of the pencils available in the database. So just for this example, I just hardware things in the this ASP space, but when you look at the real scenario, the values are coming from the database, but not from the hardware thing. So for this, first I will define item class where it have item this method where it have description and cast. So, and again description, get and set methods are there, and cast again get and set methods are there. These are the item class which has the item and description methods inside of this item class. So based on the item cast, I will take the item and reduce the item count in the quantity. So this class I'm defining as item class here separately. And going to the purchase page, I declare two buttons to show the quantity of pencil and pen. And look at the code behind code. I'm defining two methods like add item and when I click on pencil, buying a pencil method, the hyperlink button. So how I'm going to do this? When I click on pen, how I'm going to do this? So when I click on pencil, so as I mentioned here in this pencil link. So when I click on this particular link, what it is going to do is it will evaluate or call this particular function here. It will call add item of pencil. So I'm coming to this particular function here. I'm initiating an array list of type session of cart, which I have been put in the global.asx file initially. So, and I will add the item to this particular cart dot add of new item of description dot cast. So this way I will add the item, and similarly for the pencil also I will add like this. This is the common function for both pencil and pen hyperlinks, which are put it in the ASP page. So this way I'm just adding all the things into the cart array list. So automatically this cart array list will be stored into the session of cart variable, which I put it in the session not start. So this way I'm putting it here. And coming to this checkout like option where I want to continue my shopping. So here I will show you the existing things like items which are available in the item. So where item is the global variable, it has quantity and the cost and prescription. I'm just displaying things here. So based on that, I will select and I will show you. So what it is doing is when you start the requesting of this page, it will initiate the session state here. So the session state have array list of cards, and when you purchase things, this page here, this will the assign everything onto the cart. Thus again, that cart will be by referred in session. So the session of cart always having the shopping details which have been done for the online shopping where purchasing of pencil and pen. So this way the session is being maintained like state is maintained across all pages when you put things into the session, and same session you can use it when you have summarized things or show the report or dashboard on the page. You just directly use the session object where it has all the methods of item like cost and description and the price, and then you can show things on the dashboard instead of the depending on the other classes or other objects, other things, because it's same everything is happening in the single same website. So I'm depending on the view state where it maintains my state or my items in the session, and same thing I can use in across all pages. Today I have only 2 pages. Tomorrow, if you add another 2 pages, you can use same session of cards, and you can show all the items onto the particular dashboard using this particular session state. So this is how the session state is being working in the ASP.NET, putting this particular example. Okay, so as I told you, like some of the instances I've been hardwired, like Winston pen. Practically, in the real scenario, what it happened is normally these values come from the database lookup. So when the user selects add an item to her or he car functionality, the add item method is called. So it will add it to session. This this way the allocates a new instance of the item class and initialize the description and cost of the item to be purchased. The new item is then added to a array list maintained by the session offset, indexed by the string using a card. So this is how my session state is maintained in an instance of HTTP session state class, and is accessible throughout the session property of both the page and HTTP context classes. So when request comes to an application, the session properties of the page and HTTP context class use it to service the request or initialize to the current instance of HTTP session state that is associated with that particular client. So this is what the session state is doing miracles in the ASP.NET to maintain the state. Hope you understand like how you are going to maintain the state of things or information or items in the website using a session state. So because the HTTP session state class supports string and ordinal based indexes. Like if you see, look at the earlier example, I used card. This is the string based index. It can be populated and accessed using the standard array access notation. And most of the developers are familiar with the formal traditional ASP, classic ASP. So there are some new properties, however, including flags for whether the session key is being maintained with cookies or with managed URLs, and whether the session state is read-only. Also note that although the code-based property is accessible through the session state, this is the backward compatibility only, but don't write anything in the code page. The proper way to access the responses encoding is through response.content encoding.code page. So that way you can use that, but don't use directly this code page property to access the session state. So, you just avoid that and use this way to read the session state. So this is about session state management in the ASP.NET. So how that is going to be work out if you implement in ASP.NET web applications. Not only in ASP.NET web applications, you can use similar thing in wherever it is applicable and required to maintain some state in the ASP.NET. Like if you look at MVC also, we have some stuff related to this, and if you want to put something on a session and you want to use it across all the pages, you go for maintaining the things in the ASP.NET session state instead of like putting the client view state like session view state and other cookie state, because cookie state will be is not securable, and if cookies are being disabled on the browser itself or can be downloaded and put it on the client browser hard disk, and that can be hackable. Everybody can hack that and everybody can see that cookies, they can disable it, they can access it. And coming to the view state concept, it will not available when the page is post back. So it will available as a single page request. A similar page is post back to the web server. View state will not maintain. This is what the problem with the view state is. This is the reason why the ASP.NET comes up with this session state among these three session state managements. Hope this clears like what is state management, how many ways we have in ASP.NET to maintain a state, and what are all those, and which one is the most efficient and flexible and securable using of this state in the ASP.NET. Thanks for listening to this video. Please subscribe this YouTube channel for more videos on ASP.NET.